Hello, everybody. I am Sun Psychic Jean, and please welcome my very special guests today, Heather and Priscilla from the Crone Zone. Hello, ladies.
Hello, everybody.
How are
Thank
you
you for
doing?
having us. I'm excited to be on your channel.
Me too. It's always fun.
It is.
It
It's
is.
so much
It's
information
really an
for
honor
everybody
to
who
be.
watches. Oh, looky, Angela's here.
Hi, Angela.
Hi, Angela. So nice to see you. And everybody, thank you all for joining us today. We really appreciate you being here. And we're going to be having just a little bit of a discussion. And what I'd like to do for the ladies is create a little, what do you call it, like a game show? And I show them a little conversation starter, and then I just let her rip.
This
It's
is
fun.
great.
It is. I never know what you're going to come up with.
That's okay. It works and it's fun and it's informative.
Yeah.
I agree. So, if everybody doesn't already know Priscilla and Heather, Priscilla and Heather are from a channel called The Crone Zone, and you can see the link and the information down in the description. And these ladies have an amazing show where they do research, and I mean top-notch research, and provide information about all things metaphysical. And these ladies are phenomenal. So they do this for about 20 to 25 minutes in an hour-long show. And then for the rest of the remaining of the show, they do card pulls and chat with the chat. And they are just so welcoming, so loving, so warm, amazing individuals. And I absolutely love these ladies. These ladies are they're a conduit. They are my teachers, and they have this wisdom inside of them that is necessary for all of us to connect to. They are I don't know, some of the light codes, some of the energetic information that comes through the things that they say is just phenomenal. It's really important that we all connect with these ladies and listen to what they have to say, because they have amazing content and really just beautiful. I don't know if you have any playlists on your channel, but
I never thought about a
We
playlist.
could do that, yeah.
at least for
I
the
want- I was
for
going to say
the
you've been really, really kind. Thank you.
I mean, really, thanks for all those beautiful words. But I feel the same way from you. I've learned
I
so much
know you also
from
are.
knowing you as well, and from your channel. That blows my mind. So
Mhm.
thank you so much.
And I can't tell you how many times one of the topics that we come up with is something you've mentioned. I said, we haven't done that, and they need to know.
It's true.
And I write it down and said, we do it.
I don't know if
you
you're
you
just hinting on purpose, but we get so many shows from things.
Exactly.
It's
and
really-
Hear it,
there's
and I'm
some
like, I'm getting this message from write it down. So I do. So it's great.
there's no topic that you two ladies are afraid to tackle, and it doesn't matter if you know nothing about it, and especially the things that you know nothing about, that you're really go straight in with both feet, and boldly and bravely try and tackle some of this really metaphysical and sometimes scientific information that you
Yes,
bring
and
through.
sometimes it boggles my mind, and I'm just like,
And you would
Lord,
be
'cause I think Heather and I learned just as much as anybody else does
Mhm.
from our channel,
and you
and
would be surprised how much scientific information there is supporting what we're doing.
metaphysics.
Mhm.
There's a lot of
Yes.
scientific data out there that aligns with everything that we're experiencing.
Mhm.
I want to say believe in, but I don't really like belief systems, so I'm not quite sure.
About things we know.
Scott,
Or what-
things like how to meditate. What's a chakra? What does it look like? What does it do?
and
Um,
everybody talks about holding space. So we just did something on what holding space is.
what
And
holding space is. So, Scott, wherever we can, we back it up with the information that's scientific, just because it's
and if you
amazing that
look at our shows, there's between there's whatever I can find, but there's always a list of references that I've used and that we both use. Because I find stuff, but she puts it all together.
So I would like to go ahead and say hello to Angela is here. Kay Jersey is here. Scott A is here. Diane G is here. Sonia is here. And David is here. White Dragon is here. Nice to see you, White Dragon. Jen Bowles is here. Let me see if I double up anybody. I think
beautiful people. And I tell you, the best thing about our channel is the chat. Yes. It's the people that communicate with us and share their experiences like us. Because Heather and I are just two old ladies. That's why we call it the Crone Zone. We're just two old ladies that are going through
get older and older.
Else.
And these ladies are not what they appear to be.
Yes.
These ladies have souls that have so much wisdom, so much experience, so much energetic power, so much frequency. They're here to help us with this conversion, moving from 3D to 5D.
True.
They're here to teach me to open me up. They're here to teach you to open you up. They're here to help us with the changeover. They have soul purpose here in this world at this time. They have cosmic connections. They have an amazing, just the brilliance in these ladies. It's not just the ladies that you see here on the channel on your screen. Their souls are multidimensional, and they have access to all of this. Don't let them fool you.
But we all have that.
I was going to say,
we all have that.
Yes, we all do.
And you're embarrassing me. Will you stop? Or actually,
I know.
you could come back every month or so and get some more of this, because this is really good for the soul.
But I got to tell you, it's been really, really funny. Since moving here, I've had several people who I've just met, or like my next door neighbor. I came in and he came in. His dogs and my dog are best buddies, and so they come in every day and say hello. And I have this one little table runner on my desk, and it says "Believe in Magic." And he saw that, and he said, "I knew you were a witch." Even though I've got college degrees hanging up on the walls, I knew you were a witch. I knew you were. And I've had other people that see me and just, "You're connected, aren't you?" I'm going, "Huh?" One look at me and you say that, they must be connected or close to it, if not.
How's Miss
I think it's a lot more than that. And that's just the vernacular here on this planet, in this incarnation that we are, maybe a couple of incarnations. But I just wanted to say a very special hello to Miss Linda De Gonzalez. I miss you. I love you. I knew you were the fairy godmother that we always knew you were. And I'm so very happy for you, so very proud of you. I am amazed, and I watch you and I lurk all the time. It is amazing what you can do and how far you have grown. And she's been here from the beginning, and she always knew she had it. She just was looking for her
niche,
which vehicle she would come in on. And
you
when
know
she
what?
opened up
on our show when we told her she was a psychic, and she went out and researched and came back and said, "You were right." It was so cute because we all were just beginning at that time. We all started around here just about the same time. And I've watched her grow like you, Jean, and she is phenomenal. There's quite a few that are pretty phenomenal out there.
It's true, Miss Linda.
It is true.
Yeah, it is true. And I do remember, Linda, you reading for you and you helping me in the beginning when I was doing readings. So we're not doing readings today. We're going to be doing a little discussion, a little chat, and it's going to be sort of like, this is like a game show for the ladies. This is what I tell them, and this is my way of getting the wisdom out of them. I just pop up a phrase or a photo, and then they just share what's in their heart.
No pressure, Heather.
No pressure. I know that the more I talk, the more connection comes through. Sometimes I'm in the middle of saying something. Okay, yeah, I'll add that. So I know that, yes, this is a good thing.
Okay,
So
so the first item up for discussion is
look at that beautiful background.
I
I
know,
love
it's
that with
beautiful. It's
crystals.
beautiful.
Oh,
is
yes.
the way to become one
Mhm.
with the universe is to trust it. And I wanted to talk about trust. I
Oh,
wanted to
that's
talk
hard.
about what you each feel that trust means to you and why it's important in connecting with the universe.
Go ahead,
Okay, I'll go
Heather.
first. Okay.
Go
I
ahead.
was going to say, first of all, it's one of the absolute hardest things to do is to learn to trust because we are taught from the time we're a baby till we all of a sudden start to wake up that trusting is not a good thing,
It's not safe.
not safe. It's your imagination. No, so you don't trust what comes into your head. But that's part of what being in connection with everything is trusting that when you hear that message that it actually means it. Thankfully, I have gotten past a lot of that. There are times I'll listen to a song or it just comes on and I'm going, that's what you wanted to tell me. Okay, gotcha. Thank you. I didn't know it. I just knew it was there. And it comes up at the oddest times and you get a thought in your head. And it's not a matter of, is this right or not? It's just trust it, go with it. And it is right, but it takes a long time to get there. Really, really long time.
You have to do a lot of shadow work to learn to
Yeah.
trust. We've had so much distrust in our lives
Mhm.
from day one. From day one, misinformation, um, learning to trust is tough. And I think the first time I really
Well,
trusted the universe was when they were asking us to start the station, our channel. And
oh,
I had,
really?
oh yeah, I was like, nope, 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 nope. I wasn't trusting the information I was getting a lot of times. I didn't feel like I was the right person. I didn't feel like I was worthy of passing on the information they wanted me to. There was a lot, it trusted myself, trusted in spirit. And Heather and I went to Sedona for a trip. And during that, it was, you know, an awareness, going to different people with different modalities.
Right.
And
And not even the same ones together. I mean, she went to somebody, I went to somebody else. We didn't, when we
yeah,
got
we
down,
never
we
had
had
the
all
same
seen,
person.
except for one case, I think, we had
Um,
all seen somebody different, or two cases, the picture too.
but while I was there, I surrendered to spirit and I was a little bit angry about it. And I literally yelled, if you want me to start this effing channel, then you have to send me the effing experts because I know nothing about YouTube or the electronics or anything else to do with it. But if you want me to do it, send me the experts and I will. It wasn't 2 weeks later that Heather and I met the people that would help us put the channel together, and they were literally experts, way overqualified,
So eager to do it.
but eager to help us. They were just really excited about what we were gonna do, and,
Yeah.
we met them in a restaurant on a whim, on a going out to lunch one day, met them on a whim. What we call our producer friend, David, he, has won 6 Emmys for news production. So when we first started out, we were pretty stiff, and we were in a news production mode till my instincts were like, "No, no, no, this is not gonna work. We need to talk." And we changed Heather and I changed it between us. But
Yeah.
trusting in the universe, oh my God, they sent us a friendship that will last forever. They sent us the perfect person to encourage me that I had the ability to do it.
Mhm.
And there was just so much on so many levels. And that was the first time I really said, fine, I'm in. And ever since then, it's become a little bit easier and a little bit easier. And right now, with all the stuff that's going on, is
A lot of trust.
trying. It's been very trying on my trust. But
Yeah.
I absolutely have faith that the universe is going to make sure this is all works out for the highest good of all of us and the highest good for myself and all included. And as long as all of us believe like that and have those feelings and project those feelings, I think our earth is going to change in ways that we could not even comprehend.
And it was very helpful to both of us, because although she didn't trust what she was getting, she would ask me, I would say flat out something, and she would trust me. And so when it's like that story where they talk about mom and dad telling their kids something and they wouldn't believe it. Go down the street and there's this hobo and he says the same thing and they believe it. That's kind of what they were doing with me. The experts above were trying to tell her, she wouldn't believe it. They'd go through me, she would believe it. So, you know, but it helps so much to have each other bounce stuff.
Yeah, absolutely, to have somebody bounce off, because Heather and I used to live together before she moved to Colorado, and then I moved to a different place in Colorado. We lived together for many years and worked as healers, energy healers. That's how we started out. Very powerful energy healing work. And it took the two of us, and we had to trust that that would work. I didn't believe it was going to work, and that worked.
Yes. And there were a lot of times when we were validating each other almost immediately, which is what we needed. And so that helped a great deal to bring things moving a little bit faster. But it's a very hard concept. And trust also has something to do, a lot to do with your self-confidence. If you don't trust what you're getting, you're not confident in repeating it out to somebody else. So all of it goes together. Without the trust, you can't believe what you're hearing. You can't relay what needs to be said.
That's why practice is so important.
And this is what Donna is saying. She said, trusting yourself takes practice daily. It gets easier. You're absolutely right. 100%. Donna, you win.
Definitely.
I love that.
Talking to your inner self. You've got to be able to trust that you're hearing it come back to you.
And Scott says with this game show, he wants to know if you can call a friend.
God, I hope so. You be there for me, Scott, please. I love it.
Yeah. Linda, you're so sweet. So true, Heather. Right. No worries, Anne. I see your message there. Well, thank you, ladies, very much for that beautiful insight. So the next one I have here is a little meme, I guess you would call it. Be kind. Be patient. Be generous. Be accepting. Be all of these things to yourself. That is where it begins.
Exactly.
What's your take on this, ladies?
I want to know what your take is.
I know what my take is. You go for it.
Go for it, Heather.
No, I did first time. It's your time. It's your turn.
Well, I think you have to treat yourself nice first. I believe that you have to give yourself grace. I think that we are so hard on ourselves, even when we're not on other people. I think we're our worst enemy, and you just got to let shit go, because nothing matters but today, and how you treat yourself and others today is all that matters. Whatever happened yesterday is immaterial. Whatever you think is going to happen in the future is immaterial. All we have is right now. And it was hard for me I had a very critical mother, and it was very hard for me to learn to love myself. And my husband, David, helped me with that a lot. He actually taught me how to love and to love myself and to forgive myself for whatever mistakes I'd made in my past. There was a lot of guilt and shame there from, like I said, critical mom, religion, although I never bought into our religion. I definitely grew up in the Episcopal Church and left as soon as I was old enough to leave. But nevertheless, I really like who I am. I think I'm fun. I'm a good person. I treat people with respect, or I try all these things to be a good person, and I think that's all you can do. Just do your best at whatever it is you're doing.
And
Give
and
yourself
remember to do it to yourself. Now that we can do it so much easier with everybody else, we have to turn around and give it to ourselves. Because remember, we've been taught, again, from the time we were babies, that this has to be this way and this has to be this way. And we got that little voice in our head saying, no, this isn't right, or this isn't right, or this isn't right. And like my daughter was in ballet. Well, in ballet, everything has to be perfect, which it cannot be, but that's what they strive for. And no matter how perfect something is, somebody sees something that's not perfect. So talk about being critical of yourself. I really feel like sorry for the ballet dancers, because they've had it drummed into them. Well, most of us as kids have had it drummed into us. So
particularly women, we're here to serve. Yeah. We're supposed to take care of other people. Forget yourself.
Exactly. We're supposed to be last. And it takes a long time to learn not to be that way. And it takes forever, and I can attest to this, to not be a person who is dependent upon how somebody else receives something.
Yes. That's a big one.
That's a very, very big one.
What somebody else thinks of us is none of our business, right?
Right. Yep. I mean, you are there to make sure everybody's comfortable and everybody is okay with things. And you're not supposed to think about, oh, you need something. Well, I still have some here, that kind of thing. And that's very, very hard to get rid of. And that's one of the reasons why almost every show that we do on site, and be kind to yourself. Whatever you're doing for anybody else, do for yourself.
Meanwhile, I'm over there going, let your freak flag fly. Be whoever you want to be.
Yourself.
Be yourself. I have lived alone for almost a year now. It's the first time I've lived alone since I
wouldn't call living alone, living with your granddaughter alone.
Well, she hadn't been here for a while.
Okay.
Not here all the time. And it has been so fascinating to find out who I am all on my own. And it's wonderful. It's been stressful. It's been painful at times, but basically it's absolutely wonderful. I love living alone. I love finding out who I am.
Yeah. You don't.
God, I hope nobody else waits till they're in their 70s like me to find out who you really are.
And you've got to quit thinking in terms of you're being selfish. It's not.
Self-care is not selfish.
It's not selfish. You need to take care of yourself.
Mm-hmm. Well, some of it is societal conditioning, but a lot of it is just negative self-talk or being extra critical, being judgmental. And it's really important for us to recognize this and sort of flip it or let it go and change that. It's important for us to catch the negativity when it comes across us saying, oh, that was so dumb. And then you're like, oh, I didn't mean to say so dumb, because, it's really, and what my spirit guides have told me is that it's really important to understand, and we all know that we all have a soul, a divine spark that is inside each one of us, which is a human experience, a human incarnation. And they want us to treat this ego and this, human container with such love and such reverence, so that the soul has an opportunity to express what it wants to create through us. And that we are like a sanctuary for this divine presence that is within us. And we have just done totally the opposite and let our egos go crazy and go out and eat pizza and drink beer or whatever, when really this divine essence, we have a divine energy inside of us, a consciousness that wants to express and create. How beautiful is that? And how much farther humanity could be. It's really important. This is the mindfulness that we want to kind of remind ourselves from. It's more than just you know, it's more than just but it's really important to begin with yourself in order to be this for other people.
Yeah.
If I was not willing to give myself a second chance, not willing to give myself slack or grace when I make a mistake, why would I ever do that for anybody else? It really is important to begin with us so that we learn how to be the energy that we want to create in this world.
Yeah.
That's lovely and so true.
Hmm.
That's a beautiful description.
Yeah.
And it starts with you, and it only takes a minute or a second to recognize, "Oops, that was bad self-talk, negative self-talk. I love myself, I love myself, I love myself. I am smart and clever." And, the bathroom's a great place to go, the mirror.
Yeah.
Put little snippets on the mirror. What is it that you have on your mirror, Heather? I can't remember.
You can do it.
You can do it?
I got this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you can put, just a few affirmations in the morning can set your
Mhm.
day and help you from a lot of negative self-talk. But you have to start. You have to do it yourself. Nobody can do it. No book is going to do it. No movie's going to show you how. No guru's going to do anything for you. It has to come from within.
And
We I
you
was
might
gonna
feel like
say,
you're making it up a little bit in the very beginning, but it'll start taking hold, and those negative self-talk things will become less and less.
and you
Just
can
give
do
your
it in journaling too. That helps too. If you writing it down. Now, there's some of us like me. I am more of a visual learner, but that's because of my ears. But and, because I'm deaf. So anyway, but I write things. I remember things. I can write a shopping list and leave the list at home, and I might leave one thing off of it.
Oh,
Even
not
if
me.
I
I'm dead
survive,
if I
I'm
forget my
still the same way.
list.
I can, as long as I've written it down, I will remember it because I've seen it, and so
I I heard once that if you write something down, it's 800 times more likely to come
Mhm.
to fruition than if you hadn't written it down.
yeah,
That's how powerful
That is
and how
powerful.
imprinting it is to write something down.
So
All
get
right,
your
so let's
gratitude journals out and start writing about all the things that you are grateful for. There's so
exactly.
many little things.
Hmm.
So the next one here we have, ladies, is it says, do not get rid of the button pusher. Get rid of the buttons. Ooh,
Exactly.
this one's
Exactly.
deep, 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 deep. What do you ladies have to say about that? Don't
Um,
get rid of the button pusher. Get rid of the buttons.
okay. Well, first you have to
Can you
decide.
get rid of both?
But the button pusher will be ineffective if you get rid of the buttons. They won't be
Absolutely.
able to push your buttons if you get rid of the buttons. What is it that's going on that drives you nuts? That's pushing, so to quote, pushing your buttons. Once you find out what the button is, you can address it and find out why it pushes your buttons.
Mhm.
And what is it you need to learn from that and try to learn it. And if it's something to do with anger or something, you can release whatever it is that's making it happen. And if you release that and they go to push that button, it doesn't work anymore.
Mhm.
So you
I've
can push
noticed
the
that my
button.
relationship with my granddaughter living here
Yeah,
and spending so much time with her, because it's like looking in a mirror of me at that age. And there are some serious buttons being pushed around here. We have worked through so many of those in the last year. It's just been brilliant. And I don't get my buttons pushed like I did used to. But
no,
yeah, I
don't
had
get
to do the shadow work to get rid of it. And I think that's what it takes is shadow work, identifying those buttons, where they came from, why you feel the way you do about that. And it actually helps to release it pretty quick,
and the
depending
other
on the
thing that
button.
I have found that no matter how old you are, you have buttons that you forgot you had. So if something happens and you just all of a sudden, boom, you're mad. Why? Find out why.
That's the
Look at
interesting
that
part
button.
when you can catch yourself
Mhm.
reacting and go, "Whoa, wait a
Wait a
minute."
minute. Why did that happen? Let me look at that. you
Yeah,
know.
but
So
you
yeah.
have to be willing to look at yourself. What say you, Jean?
Evolve.
Yeah.
Evolve.
It's
Evolve
easier
and
the
move.
more you do it. As with anything
Mhm.
else, it's easier the more you do it.
Mhm. Um, it's a judgment on yourself, and it's a judgment on somebody else, and judgment is only detrimental to the judgee. I
Exactly.
mean, no, to the judger, not the judgee.
Yeah,
Um,
judgy doesn't.
and it's 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 um it's taking your power back and not allowing somebody or something to have power over you, and to take your power back and to have control, the self-control, that no matter what happens, no matter if you like or dislike it, no matter if it's right or wrong, no matter if it's good or bad, that you stay in this centered state of observation, and try
Mhm.
not to entangle yourself with what is the illusion, and understand that it is all here for us and to teach us. And
And
so, yeah,
if it does send you off the deep end, it's okay. I mean, you have a right to hit your feelings, but address what the issue is and let it go. And you'll find the buttons disappear too.
yeah.
Very
Uh,
true.
taking our power back, I think, really helps us not to suffer anymore. It ends the suffering.
It does, and, taking your power back involves discernment and boundaries, and we all need to work on those.
Yes.
Very, very important buzzwords: discernment,
And boundaries.
boundaries.
Mhm,
Huge, huge lessons that
mhm.
come back and they teach us over and over and over again. And each time we think we've learned it, there's another level or another perspective for us to take a look at. And we
Yeah,
learn it over again in a different way. Just like I said, if you're bullied when you're a kid, you know what it feels to be bullied. But when you grow up and you have a toddler and your toddler is being bullied, you know what it feels like to be bullied as a mother. Then when they grow up and they're being bullied by their boss at work, you're like, oh, that's what happened to me, and you can see it like in a work atmosphere, and
yes.
you learn it
Mhm.
again and again in every facet, in
Aspect and
every
aspect.
perspective, until you fully grasp and understand, the full magnitude of bullying,
I
and
guess
and
that's
how
why
to
we have
take your power back.
thousands of past lives. We're all
No,
slow
there's
learners.
there's so much to learn.
There is
There's
so
so
much
much
to
to learn.
learn.
Oh, yeah. And you think you've got it down. And when you look, there's more. It's like we say, it's like an onion. You peel off one layer, you take care of it. There's another layer. So you peel off that layer. And it
Yep. So
really,
Scott says writing down positive words on a notepad seems to help. It really, really does. They resonate. They have very high frequency, and it's a brilliant idea, Scott. And writing it down is 800 times more likely for it to take hold, come to fruition, whatever you'd like to do. So let's move on to the next one here, ladies.
well,
And
you
I know
know,
you would love to hear this one. Trust your intuition. It speaks softly, but
mm,
when you listen, the message is always clear. Tell me a little bit about what you hear, sense, or understand about your own intuition and how to hear it.
Well, mine's a knowing for the most part. It's
mhm.
just I know something is either the right move or the wrong move. Um, when I don't pay attention, I get in trouble. When I don't listen, and I really am not the kind of person that hears nuance, and so it's been very difficult for me to be quiet enough and recognize when spirit's talking to me, because I'm one you have to hit over the head with a sledgehammer for me to get the message.
And there are places that I'm like that too. I mean,
And then other times it's just so boom, boom, boom
mhm,
that I'm not even aware of it.
yeah,
I just
you
do
just
whatever.
automatically act on what you know. You don't even question it, nothing. But there are times when you hear it, and you hear it plainly, even because they get louder and louder and louder, and you say, "No, that can't be it," and disregard it. And later on, it comes up again, even louder. You know this is what it is, but you don't listen to it until somebody else says, "This is what it is," and it's, I knew that. I knew that. I just wouldn't listen. you know.
Mhm.
So
And
that happens too.
that's part of our free will, is whether to
Mhm.
listen or not to listen. But like Priscilla said, every time she does follow it, it's better off. She's in a better position.
Oh, yeah, it
So
seems like growing up before I learned to pay attention, um, you ignore it at your peril.
Mhm. Yeah,
Literally.
it's gonna happen no matter what, and
And
it's like
particularly now when the energies are so strong and whatever they call the veil so thin, you really get a lot of intuitive hits, whether you're aware of them or not, and the more you notice them, the easier life is, I think.
yeah, and sometimes they come in and like, "I got this feeling that I wonder if I'm gonna move this year." And then you keep getting these feelings, and all of a sudden, it's right there in front of you. So if you pay attention to it, and even if you don't pay attention to it, it's right there in front of you.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they can be very, very small hints. You think they're hints, but they're actually telling you stuff.
mhm. It's beautiful. It's
And
beautiful.
and it comes back to trust. You need to trust that you actually heard that.
Exactly. They go hand in hand.
Yeah.
They go hand in hand.
Trust trust is
They
everything.
go hand in hand.
Yeah.
Trust and intuition.
Mhm.
Trust your intuition.
Trust,
And
intuition, and imagination.
Yeah.
yeah.
Those are the 3
So
big ones for me.
and what I always like to say about that is give them the benefit of the doubt. Like,
Mhm.
what if? What if that little bird outside was looking right at me to give me a message? Just what it, what's it going to hurt to
Who's
say,
it
yeah,
gonna
that was
hurt?
my spirit guide? What's
Right.
it? Just open up because as soon as you accept that was a sign, then more signs will come because you're not closed off. You're not Debbie Doubter. No
Mhm.
offense to Debbie's, but if you doubt and you don't believe and you push away or it won't what it's not as likely to come in as if you'd say, oh, those twos, that's my angels, thank you angels, or those twos on the clock. It doesn't hurt anybody just to give them the benefit of the doubt. It's really beautiful to give everything just a chance. Give it open. Give it an opening. And every time you see a sign, synchronicity, or miracle, appreciate it, notice it, and
Oh,
and
and say thank you, and say thank you. It helps.
Yes.
It really works. I noticed, for many, many, I mean, like 30, 40, 50 years, I have been seeing the number 252 everywhere. Everywhere I see it. It's my daughter's birth time. So now when I see 252, I'm thankful for my daughter. I just give thanks for my daughter, who is a wonderful human being anyway, but I just I don't know why I see that number, but I since it's her birth time, she gets a little love every time I see it. But
oh,
the 1111 and the 222s and the 555s, you don't think they're not random numbers you're seeing for no reason. When you see something over and over again, like Heather said, she saw my website came up to her 3 times before she actually acknowledged and decided she needed to come
Yes,
to.
yes, okay, I'm going,
I was
leave me
having a psych
alone.
I was having a psychic fair at my wellness center in Texas. Like I said, 3 times before she saw it, and us meeting was preordained. We know now, we didn't at the time. We know now.
Yeah.
333. I wonder what the threes are about. I'm not that.
me too, Daniel. I think we're in the same galactic family because I've been seeing 333. I'm telling you, all over my phone. It is March 3rd. All
Wow.
these threes, and I'm also waking up at 333, and I'm like, oh, could I have
Well,
just,
that's no
you know.
fun. Well, you're now a member of the 4 a.m. club.
Look, Scott too. I'm telling you guys, I told
So what
I
does the
don't know who I was.
333 mean?
Oh,
Do
let
you
me
know?
look it up. I'll
It
look it up.
it means that you're not alone and that you're on your spiritual journey and to keep going, keep moving forward. And
Nice.
I think there was somebody, I forget who it was. I was co-hosting with either one of the Terrys or Joan or somebody. And I said, can you imagine when we go back over to the other side and we're like laughing and smacking our knees and saying, I knew that was you over there. We were all in the same club and we were all on the same, everybody in this community, we all are going to meet on the other side
You
and
know we
say,
will.
good job, high five, you know?
Yeah, this
Like
thing
since
says it's a sign of encouragement, growth, and alignment with divine energy.
And
lovely.
threes are really important, really special because like the 3, 6, and 9 energy as
Yeah.
well. I mean, fours are wonderful and twos are wonderful, but threes, there's a little bit more cosmic going on. And it could be the cosmic alignment, you know, whatever. Mhm.
I don't know. But I know
Mhm.
you and I have known each other for many lifetimes.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Do you want to tell them how we met?
Oh, well, she booked a reading with me and I opened up the Zoom call, you know, and I said, hello, how are you? And I said, I'm going to tune into your energy. And I closed my eyes and I just got so overwhelmed with unconditional love and energy coming at me. I was like, oh, I couldn't even talk. I didn't know what was wrong with me. I couldn't focus. And I could feel the energy coming from her. And she's like, oh, that's just my spirit guide, Red Feather or
Red
somebody.
Eagle.
And
Ready to go.
it was Priscilla and it was me. And there was a divine reason why we were here to meet each other. And I was blown away with the shift in the energy because I could feel it. And I told her, I apologized to her. I said, I'm sorry, I really can't finish this reading. I'll have to reschedule with you for another one. And she did. And she came back and we finished it. But I was
I had
very
no
taken
idea what
back.
was wrong with me. There was something wrong with me. I was like, what did I do? What did I say?
You were being you. Nothing wrong with that.
That was so funny.
It
But
was,
I
it
had
was,
seen you reading with Scott Allen, and as soon as I saw you, I thought, I have to have a reading with the person. I know this person. I was just like, who is this woman? And we were all pretty new on YouTube. I wasn't on YouTube yet.
No, no.
I wouldn't even an inkling that was going to happen when I first met you.
mhm,
Yeah, I've
mhm.
learned a lot from you, young lady.
And me, you. And this is why we are, you know, a soul family and we're meant to meet. And she's on the other side of the world and we would never have bumped into each other. But because of this channel and because of this community
Community.
that we were able to interact with one another. And this is true of each and every one of you and each and every one of you who intermingle with other people who are here in like-minded, you know, uh, capacity and channels and things. But yeah, that was
Can
fun.
you tell them how important how you see the energy that comes when you're around other, high vibe people? Because I know you can see the energy that the people in the chat generate along with us is so powerful for the love and light that's going to the collective. And I don't
I
know how to
gotta tell you
explain that to the
along
chat.
that,
Like, I know you can see it, Jean.
but I wanted to relate to other people how we know, for instance, the one example that we have that energy is that powerful. And it's because if you think about our producer, we got a phone call, he was needing a new heart. We brought it to you guys to send him healing energy. He no longer needed the new heart. He has a pacemaker, but he's fine. And I know that you guys had so much to do with that.
And so does he.
Yes, and
You
so does he, because we all got together to send him that healing energy.
So when you're feeling down, when you feel like you're alone, hop on one of these shows because the love and light that comes through for all
Mhm.
of us is so amazing. And whenever I'm pissy or whatever before a show, by the time I'm into a show for 5 minutes, my attitude has changed completely. And it's not me that's doing it, it's the people in the community that helps raise that vibration. And I'm really appreciative to everybody out there.
And I've got to say, I just got when I was saying that it isn't just that we all thought of the same thing. When we are involved in all this energy, if you need to point it to somebody specific, you don't have to tell anybody. It just automatically goes where you say it needs to go. Okay?
I love that. Good one, Linda. You're right. Great
The best
antidepressant.
antidepressant, right, right.
Energy like water seeks its own level. I love that, Jenny.
Yeah. Hi,
Jenny's gonna be
Jenny.
on our show tomorrow.
Yes.
Ooh,
Yes.
everybody go over to the Crone Zone. Ginny is a huge hit. She's a headliner, and everybody loves Ginny's
And
reading.
she's a
Everybody.
great friend that we met through this community.
She's phenomenal. She
She
is
is phenomenal.
She's a wonderful
extraordinary.
person.
I'm so excited in practice when I get to work with her
Me too.
because I know I'm going to
I'm
get one
very
big girl.
fortunate. Yes.
Yeah, she's
Okay,
amazing.
so let's try the next one, ladies.
Sure.
The next one is a little long. It says, it's a journey. No one is ahead of you or behind you. You are not more advanced or less enlightened. You are exactly where you need to be. It's not a contest. It's life. We are all teachers and we are all students.
Amen to that.
Yeah, and it's a hard lesson to learn. When somebody is able to do something that you can't do yet, it doesn't mean they're more advanced than you. You have things that you can do that they can't do. It doesn't matter. You're exactly where you're supposed to be when you're asking for it. It's there. You are where you need to be. And what somebody else can do has no bearing on it. It's about you. It's not about you as a group. It's about you. Jean is
That
so
comparison
fantastic at her
is
mediumship. But there's no reason to worry about that. That's what she excels in. There are things I do and things that Priscilla does that are different from the others. It's just,
I never think of myself as being better or less than.
Yeah.
Once I started really liking myself, I don't really care where you are. Oh, I'm jealous that you can see and I can't see. I'm not clairvoyant and you are. That gives me a little twinge, but you know what? I do this and you don't do that. And you know what I mean? It doesn't, it varies for each and every one of us. And
it's just like
we all
anything
have those
in life.
clairs, and we just have to practice to get the ones that aren't as good a little better.
Yeah, everybody has their own skills. We're supposed to be different.
Wouldn't it be boring as hell?
Yeah.
Perfect, or to be just like somebody else? I think that would be boring as hell.
Yeah.
I believe in kicking the box, breaking open the box.
Yeah, break the box.
Break
And
out.
don't let it be a circle. It's just you're busting out. As she says, let your free flag fly.
What about you,
Yeah.
Jean?
I just think that I love the way that here in the community that we're not competitive, that we are collaborating and so supportive to one another, and
Me
to
too.
understand that you're exactly where you need to be and that it's not a contest is really empowering and enlightening itself.
So,
And and we can always aspire, we can always learn from somebody else, but it's important not to compare yourself or to have, that, like they say, that jealousy or that, what is it called? Contentment, not contentment, but when you, something else, I forget what the other one is. When you wish you had something somebody else has.
Covet.
It's really, it's detrimental. It's not empowering.
no.
You paying attention to what somebody else has or doesn't have takes the attention off of what you're doing in your spiritual growth and your own journey, so it's really important to pay attention to your own I guess your own growth, your own measuring against you for the day before, and not anybody else. You only compare yourself to who and what you've done in the day before.
You know what's helped me learn that is working out with my. I have a personal trainer that I worked with in Key West, and she moved to Colorado too, but she's in Colorado Springs. So I do Zoom with her 3 days a week, and some days are better than others. And it's been really a hard lesson to learn that I'm not always great when I'm working out. Some days really suck. Some days are really hard. Even though I do this 3 days a week religiously, some days just suck. And
Yeah,
other days
some
I'm
days
a
just
powerhouse and I'm like, yeah, that's life. That's life. You just have to learn to ride those waves. I don't compare myself to anybody else. I'm comparing myself to me and and where I was when I started 85 pounds ago and could barely walk up 3 steps. And
now,
life is wonderful
yeah,
since I've been
and
doing that. But it's taken work. But I've also learned so many wonderful lessons about myself and my competitive nature with myself, not with other people. Because I really believe competition is a detriment to society. But that's a whole different story.
but the thing is, even when you have quote off days and not, and great days, it's not a matter of how well you're doing. And this is how I think of it for me. It's not how well I'm doing. Am I doing it the best I can?
Yep.
Mm.
That's what you're asking.
That was the best I could do that day, and that's okay.
That's okay.
That's the way, and it was a hard lesson to learn. I wanted to be better every time.
I
Mhm.
know that feeling too. I don't have it anymore so much, but I know that feeling too.
Just visiting says, "What's the topic?" None really.
Everything.
Anything and
We're
everything.
we're doing conversational starters. So here's the last one that I wanted to chat with you ladies about. And it says, death is not the opposite of life. Life has no opposite. The opposite of death is birth. Life is eternal.
Absolutely.
And I tell you, I had to read this one about 25
Yeah.
times.
The
I
opposite of
understood
death
it.
is birth is the one that gets you. The
Yeah.
opposite of death is birth.
But that's only if you're a human.
I don't know.
Like,
I
I
don't
I
know
mean,
about
that's where you see it.
it's a transformation. When you
yeah.
transform into birth and you transform out of into death. And it's
Yes.
a transformation, but life is eternal. And
Exactly.
this is such a huge understanding. And it's what I do. I know that life is eternal. I know that we're all energy. I know that I speak to loved ones on the other side. I know that this is only like a dream or even like a mirage or like a
Projection.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, an illusion. And that when we eventually are cross over and go back to the other side, that it'll feel like a dream that we were here.
In
That's
just
what
a
they
minute.
say.
In
But
just a
Yeah.
minute of
your
time.
spirit, whether you're here or someplace else, if you're in the ethereal, or if you're on another planet, or if you're someplace else in the universe, or if you're on Earth, you are a spirit. I disagree with that. Sorry.
What? You disagree with what?
What was written?
Why?
He said death is in the physical and birth is
Oh
in the
no, oh
spiritual.
no, just visiting said death in the physical is birth in the spiritual.
But we're
What's wrong with
as
that?
spirits. No, as spirits, we're always here.
But
It's
death
birth
in the
is not
physical
necessarily
for the
spiritual.
physical death is birth in the spirit. So we birth on the other side. When we die here, we were actually born on
Okay.
the other side. But
Yeah,
I think it's kind of confusing for me because to me, it was saying you're not spiritual unless you're born, but it's not. I don't.
they're saying death is your birth on the other side is spiritual.
Okay,
Mm.
saying it that way, I agree with. That's fine, but
Mhm.
you can say that, but we are spirits all the way through.
Mhm. Sure.
Doesn't matter what side you're on, we're a spirit.
We are eternal.
Mhm.
Death is not the end.
Correct.
And how liberating it is that we can all say this with such conviction, such knowing, such certainty, such joy, you know, and to know in our hearts. It doesn't mean that it's any easier when we lose loved ones because it's the separation of those energies and that love. It's that separation
Yeah.
that causes the feeling of loss. But knowing that we all will exist on the other side. And that's why I say we're all going to be high-fiving each other and say, I knew that was you in the chat, you know?
Yeah.
I was going to say, when my brother died, I never felt like I had lost him, even though I went back to New Jersey and we went to the funeral. That's okay. As a human, I would never be able to see him again. But the thing was, he was still with me. I could feel him beside me the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
hadn't lost him. I lost his human, but I didn't lose him. Never have, never will. That's what he said, never will. So,
Mm-hmm. Yep, the opposite of death is birth. And people think the opposite of death is life. That was just so really
I
such a
think it's
profound.
fascinating the way he worded that. And you're right.
yeah,
It took me a minute to go, oh, yeah.
took me
Just-
longer than that.
Death is not the opposite of life. And we all think that. We're all taught that.
We're
It's
taught
not that we
because
didn't think this up. We were taught this.
Yeah.
That death
Exactly.
is the opposite of life. You know, life has no opposite.
And
The
it,
opposite of death is birth, and life is eternal. I mean, it is brilliant the way he did word
Yeah, the
that.
way you
but-
worded that is brilliant.
right. And the other thing that I found amazing was that my sister-in-law all of a sudden began to realize what I was feeling. She was feeling him too. And
that's
so
nice.
it helped her a great deal. Now he had messages for her, but I had to wait for them to go ahead because she wasn't ready for them yet. So
Yep. And Ginny says, love is not the opposite of hate. Apathy is. Interesting.
well, I agree with that because hate is still a feeling. Apathy
Yep.
is a feeling.
Yep. Yep.
I tell you,
Ignore
the
them.
feeling
Ignoring the the dish of rice is much worse than hating the dish with rice. Did you know the rice experiment? We should do that, Priscilla. Next time you guys are together, we're going to do the rice experiment. Okay.
Heather and I've actually done it.
Yeah.
We did it when we were in Key West. Didn't we do
when
a show
were you
on
going to tell
that?
me?
Didn't we do a show on that our first year?
I think we did. During the first year, we did do a show on it.
Well, dig that thing back up. I think
have
it's
to dig
so
that up
important.
Yeah, what the rice experiment is you put rice in water and cooked rice, and you label it with hate, 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 and every day you walk by it and yell at it. I hate you, and all these negative energies. And on the other side, you have another one that is labeled with love, and you caress it and you love it every single day. And what happens is the rice that has received the hate starts turning really nasty, awful.
Oh, it was awful.
Gross colors. And the one that you've been giving love pretty much stays the same.
Mm-hmm.
And
there should be three. One
We-
is love.
One
is hate.
is a control.
Oh, yeah, there was a control one.
Right.
One is
But we
love.
also did it with water, freezing water in containers. And we did it with water too. Just
the three that I was thinking of is Dr. Emoto, and he says
Dr. Emoto.
one is love, one is hate, and the other one is ignore.
That's
and ignore
right.
is
That's right.
always
There
the
was an
ugliest and the blackest.
That's true.
Because ignoring
about
is
the
like
ignore.
apathy. When you don't give somebody any attention is worse than that negative attention. And you know who loves that negative attention? They can't tell the difference between negative attention or positive attention. It's that apathy. It's that ignoring somebody is the worst.
And the same thing is true with the brain. It can't tell when it's a positive remark or a negative remark. Any remark, as far as they're concerned, any remark is true.
Is law.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Lisa, she said I'd be scared to do that experiment. No way. You just wouldn't want to ignore the rice. I know you're an empath, Lisa. And she says I'd be scared to do that experiment. You would be like, I love all of you. I don't want to hate any of you. Lisa, I could feel you.
Well, it is very difficult to say you hate
the hate one. The
hate one was really hard. Even my Berkey, I keep a Berkey because I don't like the chlorine in the in city water, and I have hearts on that Berkey and love all over that Berkey. So that water I'm drinking is full of love.
That's right.
It's
That's
been in
right.
there
We
because
can all, whenever you, before you drink your water, put both of your hands around the glass and
and
send it
just
love, kindness, healing, and compassion, everything. It
Well,
really does work. And you know what? If not, give it the benefit of the doubt, right?
mm,
Remember, give it the benefit of the doubt. You'll think you're making it up until you see
that's why they
the
came up with
the
changes.
thing
prayer
is,
for our meals. That's
you're
what
you're
prayer
sending that energy.
praying over your breakfast is all about. We
Yeah,
should be doing that at each one of our meals, thanking Spirit for
bringing
our
it.
food, healthy
Yeah.
food.
I
But
see you, Lisa.
even if you don't
Our,
think about it, just reading those little icons or little stickers that say love or something else on it, that's putting it in your head. Your head is sending out the signal. It's getting it.
mhm.
Yeah.
Just reading.
Just Google Dr. Emoto or Google rice experiment, and you'll see little 5, 3, 5, 10-minute videos that show it to you, because
Mhm.
Scott hasn't heard that one before. That's why we do
Wow.
these shows. And this is the last one, ladies. I know it's past the hour here, but we'll just do this one real quick. And it says, each and every soul will become consciously aware of the ability to communicate with the divine. Is this not the most inspiring statement you've ever
It's
heard?
so
I don't
absolutely
know.
true.
I'm like, I can think of many souls that are not going to wake up to
Each
their
and every
ability.
soul will become consciously aware of the ability to communicate with the divine.
Well, just like for them to help us do anything, we have to ask them. For us to be able to communicate, we have to be willing.
I think it's more, yes, thank you, Mary. I think it's more of, Mary said that's his Dr. Emoto's. Thank
That's
you. I think it's more that that we communicate. We're going to be in balance with our spirit guides and loved ones and angels and our ego. So I think that the humanity will be guided spiritually every day. So
Eventually,
each and every soul will become consciously aware of the ability to communicate with the divine and walk in balance. And this is how I interpret that statement.
interesting. Yeah, that's not how I interpret it, but it makes sense.
What
I
do,
guess I'm like, there's so many unconscious people right now. I don't see how that can be true.
it
I mean,
doesn't
I
say
think
they
every
they
soul
have. It
communicates
doesn't say they
already.
have. It says they will. They will.
Yeah.
I
But
see
I
it
think
as
every
this
soul
this is the end
automatically.
result. This is the end result.
I'm telling you, I meet people every single day that it's only been months since they've become aware of this, any of this.
Beautiful.
If
I'm
this is
glad.
the first time they're hearing it, and they had a dream, or they're hearing things, or they're seeing things, people are coming online. And I did have that, but I went past it. They're coming online, and they're coming together, and they're coming here. They're searching for their own spiritual journey, and
While
it's
we're all
happening.
here. That's
Well,
why
we are the way showers.
But it's all happening. This is the time. This is the time. Um,
this is
and
definitely the time. We've all come here for this time in particular to
Mhm.
help with the awakening. That's
Yeah.
why we've had to awaken, because we've got to help others awaken. And that's what our
mhm.
channels are about, healing and awakening.
And
Because
that's
think
why
of all
they
the healing you do on your channel. Every time you read for somebody, you're doing a bit of healing on them every single time. And you may be healing ancestral lines. You may be healing people on the other side by the things that you're doing. Huge waker upper. Yes. Waker upper.
mhm. Mhm. Yeah, it's really beautiful that we can come together and share and expand and become more aware. Um, And with that, I just want to say thank you, Priscilla, and thank you, Heather, for being here, for being my teachers, for being my guests, and
Ditto.
thank you everybody who came and joined the chat, who watched later. We really appreciate each and every one of you. I've really adored this discussion, and I love chatting with you, ladies. Now, if you don't know, I am also on the Crone Zone channel from time to time, and we also
Every
have
month.
a wisdom circle
Mhm.
with all the psychics and all the mediums that come together, and we have a discussion group. And it's really a beautiful place. If anybody has not gone over to subscribe to the Crone Zone, like I said, I have the information in the chat box or in the description box below. Please do check them out. You won't be disappointed. And go back and check out all of they have some amazing history of all their shows. The wealth of information and the dedication that they have to the research and the way that it was delivered is really just an amazing,
Well, thank you, Jean.
beautiful.
And I was going to say that I have tried to get on myself from someplace else. And if I didn't put conversations with the ancients behind it, I got all sorts of other stuff. So if you want to see us, please add that to it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
No, the link is actually at the Crone Zone. That's the actual link. You don't need the conversations with the ancients as far as if you're on YouTube.
And she's not just mouthing words when she says that we really appreciate your being here, because we really do.
We absolutely do. And we love being with our Jean. We've learned so much from you, young lady, as well. You've been a mentor to me in so many ways. So thank you for having us. And you'll be back on our channel next month.
Yes.
In April. I don't have the date in front of me, but it's there.
Sounds wonderful. All right, everybody. Have a wonderful evening. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Have a great weekend.
Thank you, everybody, for watching. Your support is greatly appreciated. If you enjoy this content, hit like, share, and subscribe. Remember to click the bell to be notified of future videos. Thanks again.